Somehow, I'm always yapping about how there's an extreme labor shortage in the world and how all these countries are trying to do different things. But one big step that any country can take is abolish work permits and abolish visa rights. And I'm always surprised by how nobody asks me this question. See, I'm of the mindset that this is not a world that we inherited as humans. We were given a world without borders, and then we came on it and we came up with our own rules, who can live where, who can work where, etc. So in my opinion, borders and visas and regulations are all man-made and not something that we inherited. To me, it's not natural. But a lot of countries don't think like that, and I totally get it. Which is why what I really love in this space is that there are some countries that are making the effort of abolishing visas. Today, I'm going to cover a country that is doing just that. So they've done a lot of things. They have introduced special visas for foreigners. They've introduced a website that foreigners can use to move there. They've also designated an entire area in the country itself as visa-free, meaning anybody in the world can live there, can work there. You don't need a visa, no nothing. And I'm sure at this point you're looking skeptically at the screen and being like, Nidhi's lost her head because this doesn't exist. This is not true. Well, my friend, in this video, you're going to be surprised because I'm going to change your mindset about that. And I'm going to do some magic for that, so make sure you stick around. Hello and namaste, my name is Nidhi Nagori and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm taking you to another country which has more than 53,000 spots open, 53,000 jobs that are right now open to foreigners. So over the next few minutes, you and I are going to discover this opportunity together. Alright, so the country of my choice today is Norway. Now I'm sure you're already like, what are you talking about? Norway has visas. Yes, it does, but it also has a completely visa-free zone that's called Svalbard. If you haven't heard about it, it's fine. It's one of the archipelagos which are in the northern part of Norway. It's also a place where people from more than 50 countries already live. Of course, it's a small community. It's beautiful. One of my funny secrets is that I love going on YouTube and just looking up Svalbard videos. Please don't ask me why I do that. I love doing it. I just enjoy seeing how people live there and how it is an amazingly beautiful visa-free zone. Anyone can move there, anyone can work there. But before we go on a complete rant about Svalbard, let's quickly talk about Norway and how it is making your move to Norway easier. For that, my computer here is ready and I'm going to do a magic just like this so that the screen pops up for you. So let's first go on to this website. I'm typing it here. It's called Work in Norway. Once you type work in Norway in the browser, you see the first link here. So just go on to that one and you'll see this is about working in Norway or doing business in Norway. So any kind of work relationship that you want to move for. I do want to quickly point out here that until this year, Norway also used to have free education. And it was one of my favorite places to recommend because you had Svalbard, which didn't need any visa. The education was free. And also you had this particular portal that came in last year. So I just felt like it was perfect from so many angles. Like the work part was pretty straightforward. You also had the study part which was free, so if the work is not working out for you, you can look at the study route. Anyway, now they've started charging a tiny bit of money, so just one disclaimer out there that it's not free anymore. But let's come back to this website. So you can see there is work in Norway, that's doing business in Norway. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to concentrate on the work in Norway part. And let's go ahead, and because I'm from India, I'm always biased. All my videos have a backdrop of India. So I'm going to look at citizens from countries outside of European Union. And once you do that, you can see it says get started in Norway. Also, there's a lot of useful information that you can use. Of course, there are 3 steps as to how you can move to Norway. The first is finding a job. The second is applying for a residence permit. And the third is finally moving to Norway. It is pretty straightforward in that sense, no complicated business here. At this point, I'm sure you're going to be asking me, Nidhi, what about the language? Well, yes. Let's address that. I've already said it in my past videos. If you are moving to a different place, you will end up picking the language there. The requirement always is not that you know the language. The requirement more so is that you should be flexible and open to learning a new language, which I think coming from India is something that comes naturally to me because we speak tons of languages in my home country. And I'm a Marwari, I grew up in Kolkata, and I can speak, read, write my state's language fluently. So I just think like that part of it is very natural to somebody who comes from South Asia. But if you're wondering, really, am I not going to get any job in Norway because I don't know Norwegian? Don't worry, because you can see right here that NAV, which is the government portal, also has English job adverts, and you can see the jobs database is available in Norwegian only, but you can search for job adverts in English by simply searching for the word English. And this link is hyperlinked, so it'll take you to the job portal. I've already looked at it at least 1,000 times. So you can just click on this link and then go onto the job portal and all the English roles will open up. But before jumping onto that, let's not jump guns so fast. Let's quickly look at what else this website has to offer. First thing is obviously a lot of tips around searching jobs in Norway. Here they're saying something that I've said so many times that I sound like a broken tape recorder. Please sign up for alerts. Register your email address, put in your preferences so that every time there's a role that fits your needs and your requirements, you get a pop-up for it. They also stress upon how writing a good CV is very important, and you can take their tips from here. There is also a third point which I would like to highlight, which is not something a lot of other countries do a good job of, which is recognition of qualifications. I think a lot of countries miss this, especially Canada, Germany, UK, all of these countries. So a lot of professions actually need local licensing. Like if you're in healthcare, like if you're a doctor, you need local licensing to work in Canada. You also need local licensing to work in the UK, but there's some work around that. You also need local licensing as a pharmacist, a lot of professions in healthcare, law, or if you want to be in teaching, etc. So a lot of countries don't do a good job of educating people about it, but Norway does that. In fact, I don't think I've seen this in any other country. I've probably seen it in Ireland, but only seen it on Norway's website that it's clearly popping out. So certain professions obviously need recognition, and they have the whole website. It's called Nokut. You could look your profession up in this. I've looked up my profession. Generally, finance is very fluid across the world, and so not a lot of regulations around that. But you could do that if you come in from a regulated profession. You would know that you come in from a regulated profession if your profession is already regulated in your home country. Then there's a lot of other interesting stuff about working conditions, etc. Super useful information. I highly recommend that you put in at least 5-10 minutes of your life and go through this website. Now let's go on to the job portal. I do want to say that you will be finding all the jobs to be in Norwegian, and there won't be an easy way to translate unless you're using Google, which is amazing. So use Chrome. I've used this on Safari and Chrome, not had a great experience on Safari. On Chrome, a much better experience. That particular hyperlink already opens up all the English jobs, and you can see there are about 1,400 positions. Not bad. In 631 advertisements. I don't want you to randomly start applying like this. I would say sort by newest at the top, because you want to look at what's the most recent job that has come up. And that opens up just so many opportunities that are there. I mean, obviously more than 1,400 jobs, nothing less, and more than what I think a lot of us would need, because at the end, you only need that one job. So after this, I would recommend that you go to the left side and then filter according to what your profession is. Because I'm in finance, I'm gonna do office and finances, and I just want to see what comes up. This one seems to be operational procurement, so let's quickly open this particular role. This seems to be supply chain management. I can see that right here. Hi, supply chain management folks. Great opportunity. Let's see what it wants. Okay, so they have everything written here. Qualification requirements. As you can see, there is no mention of Norwegian. I know a lot of people ask me this, oh, do I really need Norwegian? Do I really need the local language? If you need local language, they're either going to put it in the job description or they're going to put it in the job name itself. But nothing mentioned here, so obviously we're good. In terms of application, you can just go ahead and apply here. That's it. It opens up. This is a company website. Of course, it's been posted, and the application end date is also mentioned. It's going to end on 25th May. If this video goes up before that, supply chain professionals, go and apply to this role. If it doesn't, I'm really sorry, but I'm sure new roles will come up. The whole point of this video is to just show how to navigate through this website. Now I want to go ahead and look at some other roles just to see, what else is out there. There's also a HR manager role, so let's see. This seems to be an international school, so they need an HR personnel. All right, so I want to explore some more. So I'm going to go and look at some other opportunities. So let's go ahead and look at the senior accountant role. This is similar to what I used to do. I mean, I wouldn't say it's similar to my role, but this is something that I understand. So I can look through this job description and tell you better about it. So this is a senior accountant role. The due date is May 31st. And headquarters is in Oslo, but they also operate out of London and Houston. No wonder they need good English. preferred qualifications, required and preferred. And you can see again, no mention of Norwegian, so they only need English. Now I do want to give you guys a very quick tip. You can either go ahead and apply through here, or you can look this person up, Anne Barrett, on LinkedIn. I'm just giving this as an example. This is another way that you could do. You could do a cold outreach on LinkedIn. So you can look her up on LinkedIn and find her and send her a connection request. Keep in mind that doing that on LinkedIn needs a lot more, meaning, you need a very strong, heavy LinkedIn profile. If you already don't have that, I do want to quickly mention that I have a LinkedIn masterclass coming up. It's on 11th of June. We've already done this last year and we had a lot of mentors last year. We have a lot of mentors this year as well. But what's exciting is that all our mentors this year are our success stories from last year's masterclass. That's right. We have seen thousands and thousands of people get placed, and to me, honestly, that's one of my biggest joys. The fact that we've been able to create so much of impact through our courses. Absolutely love it, and I am ready to do it all over again. So if you want to know how exactly you can bump up your LinkedIn so that when you're reaching out to Anne here or any other person like Anne, I just want you to have a better shot at getting a response from them. There's a tried and tested technique. There are things that have worked, and obviously we have success stories from last masterclass. I'll link the LinkedIn masterclass in the description box down below, so go check it out. And if you want to know anything about our mentors from this year, go onto my Instagram. I already have sessions with them. I have some coming up. I've already done a couple. So you can hear them, you can hear their stories, and you can hear how just changing LinkedIn has made so much of impact in their lives. People always forget that LinkedIn is social media. You have to know how to run the algorithm and how to make sure the algorithm works in your favor. So if you just know that, it's going to be a big game changer in your life. Now let's come back to our Norway conversation. If you're wondering how you can find a job in Svalbard, I do want to say I didn't find a lot in English, but I will type Svalbard here. So let's see what we find. And I see there are about 62 opportunities in Svalbard. So this is something that will not need any kind of visa. You just don't need any kind of visa. You just need a job to move there, which to me is amazing. Finally, there is a place in the world where we don't need to go through visa sponsorship, where anybody can live without any rules and regulations that the society has imposed upon us. I'm definitely for it. If you want to know more about Svalbard, I think I have a video. If I find it, I'll definitely link somewhere up here. So go ahead and look at that. I also have a couple of success stories from Svalbard because I did that video, I think last year, and some people have already been able to move, so you know that it's already worked for people. Apart from that, this website also has a lot of amazing info, like applying for a resident permit. You can get all the information here, and then finally also about moving to Norway, which also tells you what all you need, like finding accommodation, tax card, etc. I think all in all, this website is amazing, and I'm so glad that Norway finally took a stand for itself, because honestly, 53,000 missing workers. How are you gonna fill that? Well, I'm very excited because I expect this website to grow. This is relatively new, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more updates that will keep coming up. I'll update you with all of that on this channel, so please make sure you stay subscribed. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, make sure you take care of yourself. Stay safe. Namaste.